And welcome everybody to Scott Cooks. Today in our Ninja Foodi, we are going to make ourselves some gourmet cheeseburger macaroni. And as you can see from the ingredients here, we're going to do quite a bit of work to make this really elevated in flavor, taste, and I'm going to call it gourmet. I'm going to go through this step by step with you. And the first thing we want to do is go ahead and start with our noodles. Any noodle will work, elbow, but I'm going with rigatoni today because, well, we're making gourmet. I'm going to very quickly tell you how to cook a pasta in your Ninja Foodi. You can watch some of my other videos for more details, but here's the bottom line. Find the place on the instructions that tells you how long to cook it. Okay? Take the lower number. If it's an odd number, which is 13 here, round it up. So now we got 14. Cut that in half. Now we have 7. Subtract 2. Now we have 5. We are going to pressure cook these noodles for 5 minutes and do a quick release. Drain them, drain the water, and then we're going to go right in with our ground beef on sear saute. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. For every 1 cup of pasta, make sure you add at least 2 cups of water. You got to give that pasta some room to move around in there. So that's 2 cups of water. And you don't have to be precise with any of this stuff. You just got to get it pretty close. All right. So that's about 2 cups of pasta. Now this pasta is really big. Really big. So so that does not look like very much. So let's go 2, 4, and it's gonna puff up a little bit, I think. All right, so we got 4 cups there. I got 2 cups of water in. I'm gonna add another 2 cups of water, maybe a little more, 2 more. And one of the things you wanna look for is, are you really covering whatever it is you're trying to boil? Just barely, because these noodles are so big. I'm gonna add 2 more to be safe. Now that will increase the time it takes to get to preheat, but if you don't put enough water in here, you're going to end up with a pretty big mess, and we don't want a mess. We're making gourmet tonight. There we go. Now that looks good. Now, what I got here is a little bit of canola oil. You can also use a little bit of like a teaspoon, tablespoon of margarine, depending on how much you put in. And why am I putting oil in here? Because when you pressure cook noodles, it gets very foamy inside of there. And this oil will actually help, well, try to help hold that foam down. Okay? And that's important. Anyway, we did the math. We came out to 5 minutes. So let's get going. Now you do not need the smart lid version of the Foodi for this one. I happen to have it. So I push my slider all the way over to the left. Pressure turns on, defaults to high. Set my time to 5 minutes. Hit start. If you've got the old model, just put your lid on, lock it down. Don't forget to set your valve up top to seal. And of course, in this model, we're doing a preheat. I put a lot of water in there, so we're probably gonna have about at least 10 minutes before we start making pressure. And do pay attention, guys, because when this is finished, you want to immediately kill the heat, just power it off, and release the steam right away. You want to get this out of here as quick as you can and drain it as quick as you can. All right, while we're waiting on that pressure, let's do a little prep work. I've got 1 green pepper here. Go ahead and dice that up. Cut these down into bite-sized pieces. These are just going to saute with after our burger is done, so they're not really going to reduce in size at all. And I got a bowl over here. Just throw everything in a bowl. Big onion. I'm going to use about half of this onion. Maybe less. Let's go with about a quarter of this onion to start with. So that's our prep work for the veggies. As soon as you get that pressure off, get this noodles in a strainer, drop them in the sink, let them be for a little bit. Then get your hamburger into the pan. We're gonna go sear saute this. Now what I like to do, so I don't overcook my onions, I like to actually let this get about halfway cooked and then I add my vegetables. We are searing and sauteing. We're looking good. That's about halfway through. Got a little brown on it. It's what I'm looking for. I don't like to stir too much if I don't have to. I like that little crispy brown. There it is right there. I'm often looking for that. And that's just about perfect. This is a pretty high fat content, and I did that on purpose. Give me 1 second. We're gonna dump in the veggies. And why do I want such a high fat content? Well, I'm gonna drain it, but I want that fat content because fat equals flavor. And that fat is gonna help sear these veggies up and add so much flavor to this dish. Of course, obviously, we're gonna drain that, but while we're cooking, we want it. Now we're gonna just go ahead and cook just beyond pink, because we're gonna do a little more cooking as time goes on with this dish, so we don't have to go to well done or anything. We just wanna get it to past the pink phase. All right, now is when things get a little interesting. I'm gonna start adding some of those flavors. I've got most of the grease is drained out of here now. Everything is well cooked, and I have 1 cup of beef broth. 1 cup of beef broth. Mix that in, and we're gonna get this back onto sear saute again and then start adding our ingredients. All right, let's bring that foodie back up. Sear saute H4. Happens very quickly, I just put it in. Let's do a little sear saute for a few minutes to just evaporate some of that beef broth. We wanna get that flavor in there, but we don't want it too brothy. Now, pretty much from this point forward is kind of at your discretion. These things, it's almost like a goulash kind of thing. We're putting ingredients in, we're building flavors as we go, but the flavors are dependent on you. What do you like? What do you not like? One of the things that's gonna help make this dish gourmet, quote unquote, is these beautiful julienne sun-dried tomatoes. Look at those. And if you are a sun-dried tomato fan like I am, you know how much flavor I just put in that pot. What's next? Well, my all-time favorite seasoning. Pretty fair amount. Good old-fashioned ketchup. I'm using the no high fructose style. We don't like much too high fructose in our food. This is also to taste. Also, depending on how much hamburger you made and how many noodles you made. We're gonna be slowly adding this in as needed, but we're gonna start off with a tablespoon or 2 of paste, and we will increase this if we need to increase it. So we're gonna reserve this over to the side for a little while. And we're just gonna let that simmer up, let those sun-dried tomatoes get reconstituted. Oh my goodness, the smells. Just incredible. Now keep that beef broth handy because we might have to add a little more in as we go along. Let's start putting a little bit of pasta in now. Yeah, I made way too much, guys, but it's okay. This freezes really nice. I'll use it for something else. So we'll just see our pasta to beef to liquid ratio. Definitely could use a little more pasta there. Look how fat those noodles got, those rigatonis. Oh, that's a very nice ratio right there, don't you think? I think so. I like it. I'm gonna go in, because my noodles got so fat, I'm gonna go in with just a little more broth. I'm not gonna measure it. Just till it looks about right. And then we're gonna let that simmer for a while. You can see I got a little broth down in there. When that's pretty much gone, we're almost there. And let's talk about cheese. Well, there's all kinds of cheeses you can put into this thing, but we are going for gourmet today. So we're gonna go with a mixture of Colby and Monterey Jack today. Colby and Monterey Jack. Okay, look at that. It's almost gone already. Between the high 4, the H4 mode, and the pasta is also absorbing a fair amount of that liquid, which is exactly why we put it in here. Don't forget, this is all about those flavors. It's looking pretty good to me. We're gonna go with another spoonful of tomato paste. That's probably enough of that. Don't forget the cheese is gonna act as a huge binder here in a few minutes. And what we want to do is dig down in and check out our sun-dried. They're looking real good. It only took a minute for them to come to life. I'm going to be going by the handful, but approximately 2 cups of cheese is about normal. But obviously, if you like cheese, dump the whole bag in there if you want. And we're just going to give that about 2 seconds to melt. That's about all it's going to take. Oh, that is coming out just absolutely beautiful. A little more. I love this cheese. It is a cheeseburger macaroni after all. So we're gonna go heavy on the cheese. That is just gorgeous. I am very satisfied with that. We'll probably save a little cheese to sprinkle on top when we serve. Well, there you have it, guys. Super gourmet cheeseburger macaroni, all done in the Ninja Foodi in about 30 minutes or so. Let's give it a try. Super cheesy, super stringy. Here we go. Out of this world. You're not going to find something like that unless you're going to a 5-star restaurant or my house. Or if you have a foodie, make your own. You can take the simplest things and elevate them. So easy. A little beef broth for that flavor, the special cheeses, the big pasta with the texture. I mean, just all of that combined. It's mind-blowing. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Give this a try for yourself. Try a few different ingredients. I was thinking maybe Italian sausage. Who knows? Cheeseburger, Italian cheeseburger mac. I don't know. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments. Hit that bell for notifications. Don't forget that little thumbs up. And we'll see you real soon on the next video.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know